Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. Tune in for a vibrant mix of fashion, finance, and life's essential foundations. Join us for expert interviews, insightful discussions, and empowering insights to elevate your lifestyle. From fashion trends to financial tips and personal growth strategies, we've got you covered. So grab your headphones and get ready to be inspired. Tune in now to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show and embark on this exciting journey with us.
Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Teresa Lawrence. And when we left off, our guest, Joe Rockey, was talking about book tours and solving problems. And we last left off when he had 30 stickies up on the board of problems. And he was trying to figure out, how do I solve these things all together? So if you could refresh the audience as to what is going on.
Yeah, I mean, at that moment in time, it looked like a rainbow. There was green for tax problems, and there was pink for the speaker tour problems, and there was yellow for legitimate sales problems that, the people were paying could solve. And I'm looking at them, and particularly from the tax element side, I was like, I need to simplify this. This logistics thing is crazy. Boom, boom, boom. And the answer kept coming to me is that I need to put them all in one space where they can't leave. If the audience is together in one area, they won't leave, so they can't scatter. Fix that problem first, and then the rest will come into play. And then, again, one of those eureka moments was like, cruises do that. I've seen people do presentations on cruises before, and I went through all the back-end problems with the speaker side. I was like, I can fix a lot of this just by being the event host on the cruise. Okay, that works. And that was really how it all came together. And whether you're trying to, have as much people together doing the same thing, dressing like a butterfly, or listening to your sales, or teaching them this, that, or the other, they're all together. And they're with you, and they're on board. And logistically, it is one bill, so that part is super easy. And then we, as the company in between, while we are not the cruise line, we're able to handle all the logistics. And at the end of the day, we're a consulting company first, so it's solving the problem of, how do we get people there? How do I get the people who are my audience to actually listen and care about me? How do we make this goal happen? And that was what the conclusion of all of these sticky notes up above my computer turned into.
Well, I want to share with the audience my experience with you. Okay, we have this conversation, and so everybody knows me. I like project out dreams that are so huge and insane, and we slowly move towards that goal. People, if you don't have your big audacious goal, you may just stay where you are. So share this dream with Joe, and I had visited the island of flowers in Switzerland. And at the top of that island is a butterfly sanctuary. And it's true, I did take a lot of people, and we did dress up as butterflies, and we went. But we were not in a cruise, and we were not doing a Guinness World Record event. But I shared this with Joe, and he talked to his team about it. And it like warms the heart. He came back with everything that I wanted, stopping at all the butterfly sanctuaries along the way on this cruise, having the cruise be butterfly themed. And I was just like, I wasn't ready to move, but the option was there. And his team took, I felt like I was heard. And for somebody who spent years not being heard, that was powerful. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for the experience of the team, just all coming in and creating. And this was me. And I didn't do a cruise with him, people. And he's still here talking to me. This man is magic. And it's fun to work with him. So talk to me about, what was the first cruise you put on? And are they big? Are they small? Because mine was a little smaller than I imagine your other things are. And who goes on these things? I mean,
so first off, I want to put two comments upon what you said, and I'm not going to ignore your question. The fact that you were willing and open to share your big, amazing dream is something we all should do. I mean, you are an example to everyone. I mean, if you don't put it out there, it's never going to grow. It's literally the example of putting a basket on top of a lamp. Like, why do that to yourself? So I thank you for that immensely. And so to answer your question about who goes upon these things, it's a wide array of sizes. We have people that are having corporate events with a handful, 10 or less or so. And then we have entire cruise ships for mega fundraising events for places that every single person has heard about. Just leave it at that. There's some non-disclosure stuff I signed, so I can't share everything. But the reality is that they normally fall into one of three groups. They are the business clients who want to achieve a specific mission. Typically, you're looking at, we want to have more sales, more production, very measurable things. So we create contests for folks. At the end of the day, you guys list this many houses as a team. You guys sell this many cars, move this much insurance, whatever the case might be. And then collectively, we all get to go on a cruise. Sure, the superstars get better rooms, but that's the end gist. So everyone gets to come together as this unifying force and be accomplished, be heard. Like, they actually cared about my contributions. If I didn't get those 4 listings, we wouldn't be here, or whatever the case might be. So it brings everyone together in a really powerful way. Because one major problem that corporations feel a lot is, sure, I'm paying these guys really big commissions, but they're not really a team. They're all kind of just individually attacking, and there's no unified front or anything. This changes that. Now there's an incentive for the best people to actually train and mentor the younger people. There's a reason to have your good middle of the road people actually listen to your sales managers. It's not just, oh, I hit my number, I'm not coming back to the lot for the rest of the week. It's, I hit my number, but if I don't come back to the rest of the week, my kid's going to know we're not on the water park boat. Like, that's what ends up happening, and people start doing that. So that's category 1. Category 2 are those who are trying to do this recruiting game, because it is so detrimental when you invest into someone. You think that they're going to be with you, and then they just walk out the door for 7 cents more or a minorly better package or whatever. Happens a lot with law firms, actually. And they're just, why did we just put all this time and energy into you? Well, when you put the incentive packages that we can create, people flock to be on your team. And the cool part is 9 times out of 10, they're more cost effective than what you would have spent anyway. So that's really how we go about in doing these. And then again, like I said, from sizes, we've done entire mega ships, the one that you see advertised at halftime at every NFL game. We've been on that before, as well as a couple of cabins on any ship. We're not affiliated towards one cruise line or the other, and we do them globally. So whether we're going to the Mediterranean, the Caribbean, or the Pacific, where we can go to do them all. So yeah.
Very, very cool. So now, because we haven't had a chance, and at the end, I'm going to ask you, what's coming up and how people can connect with you. But for now, we've spoken about your projects, but we haven't spoken about you. Oh, he smiles. This is the touchy-feely part where Teresa goes, so you said it's a metaphysical question, but the truth is we all have a journey, right? And so what's your journey?
So my journey is, I guess it's like anyone else. It's long and convoluted, right? So
it could be short.
I suppose it could be. Yeah, I mean, from the professional standpoint, I came out of college knowing that I wanted to be able to be hired. So I looked at it and said, what are some things that every business needs? Well, every business needs to know where their money is. That's what an accounting degree gets you. Every business needs to know how to get more money. Well, that's what finance basically is, how to get more money. And then every business needs how to sell stuff. So every job I've ever had in my life has been commission-based. And I pretty much went through the world and had some really, really, really bad managers, for lack of a better way of saying it. And it came to be like, I never want to work for anyone else again. And I went out there at 23 years old and wanted to start a rental company in the shadow of the last recession when every bank in the world was blaming landlords. They weren't the ones who said the bad loans. It was the landlord's fault, even though mathematically that wasn't true. Regardless, I'm sitting here as a 23-year-old with not enough money to build a rental empire. And I was like, I'm just going to start doing flips then. And did everything wrong you could with mismanaging a crew and all this. Like, you name it, I did it wrong. And I got economic.
But you did it. But you did it, right? You went off and you did it.
I did it. I every economical form of being bumped and bruised, I took and learned along the way. Learn what actually moves the needle, which, from a house perspective, from a people perspective, and then had this really, really cool thing going. We had a little rental empire, and I live in Pennsylvania. I remember very distinctly when Ohio and Kansas decided that they weren't going to go into March Madness. And that was the official beginning of COVID. In my state, COVID lasted for 2.5 years. The magistrates were closed. You cannot run a rental empire when you cannot evict someone, period. So I pretty much had the government tell me, you can't run your business anymore, and that I wasn't essential.
That's powerful and painful. And yet he is smiling here, sharing goodness with us. We're gonna take a break in just a little bit, but I want the audience to notice a few things. He truly is, he has such an entrepreneurial spirit, because everything inside of him is everything I've heard from entrepreneurs. We do not want to work for other people. We want to create magic on our own. And with that thought, we're going to drop off for a commercial break.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.